2005's Corpse Bride is just completely delightful, really. As is typical of Tim Burton, it features a reality where death is neither fixed nor absurdly inert, but amusingly transformative. Split in two realms, the plane of the living is cold, colorless, muted, unfair, and unreasonable, set in that unspecific period Burton loves to muse over, which is vaguely Victorian, and by extension of that atmosphere, Corpse Bride's living world is incredibly styled to articulate repression as a lived experience. While the land of the living is a plane without much heart, the underworld land of the dead is colorful, jovial, cathartic, impassioned, and ultimately honest. Even then, death is not the end, as there's an unexpected tranquility beyond even that. Burton even takes the opportunity within this gothic comic dichotomy to conjure social commentary by playing off old European stereotypes of class division, the dead being downstairs common folk, the living being firmly, stiffly upstairs elites. Corpse Bride plays off the kind of social stratification that Jean Renoir and even Robert Altman were so fond of incorporating into their films. Here, Burton incorporates social commentary without so many political purposes as emotional ones. Can a heart still break after it stopped beating? The upstairs living elite they intend to find out. And even the Corpse Bride herself is a literal symbol of how the upstairs elite victimized and cruelly abuses the downstairs dead. The stop-motion animation is truly a sight to behold. It took a very long time for Tim Burton to organize a group of animators that understood his particular, peculiar, and visceral aims, how he desired the puppets, figures, and miniatures to be touchable, palpable, and emotional. Burton's heart and imagination is wonderfully translated by this uncanny landscape of offbeat puppetry, pantomiming fairy tale. Having been intensely involved creatively on The Nightmare Before Christmas and James and the Giant Peach, Burton was hungry for his own animated experiment with gothic atmospherics. Along with the more practical and hands-on director Mike Johnson, Burton was able to see one of his ultimate visions come to stop-motion fruition. Being a film that directly followed 2003's Big Fish, I think it also is intensely personal to Burton as well. This really focuses on death in a way that I think is healthy. And, the puppets themselves are certainly monuments of technical mastery, based on Burton's design, sketches Burton himself describes as crude. He's always self-deprecating, that's always kind of charming. He found a crew talented enough to not only actualize his dreamlike fantasies, but elevate them in the process of craftsmanship. Corpse Bride is bathed in the remnants of German expressionism and monster movie screen grammar, as even the flesh-eating worms speak with Peter Lorre's cadence. The underworld is truly alive, and Emily, the Corpse Bride herself, is preternaturally, supernaturally beautiful and full of my love, and Tim's love as well. Is it bad that I have a crush on the Corpse Bride? I'm sure it's fine. That was probably Tim's doing anyway. His goal, ultimately, was most likely to make me fall in love with a corpse, unconditionally. Helena Bonham Carter's voice absolutely helped, but it's the vision, that remarkably singular vision, that stole my breath away. He's got me feeling for my pulse, unsure what I want to find. Something transformative, maybe. Something loving. Something forever. A corpse bride to still my racing heart. This film was truly comforting. It was incredibly comforting. I watched it definitely when I needed to watch a kind of comforting film about this that, you know, dealt with gothic comic aesthetics, that dealt with fairy tales, dealt with death and love and misfit death and misfit love. I needed this. I needed this film. I needed to be nurtured and cared for, and maybe even placated to. I I needed Tim Burton's Corpse Bride. I really needed to experience it today. It I honestly think it was helpful. I think it's got a great heart and it's trying to care for its audience. I think it assumes that its audience, if they are adults, because this is an incredible children's film, you know. But if adults are watching it, it kind of is tailor made for the brokenhearted, for the pessimistic, um, for the people who used to be optimists, for the people who used to be in love, for the people who want to feel that way again, for the people who want to be cared for. Tim Burton's always an extremely great, talented, capable of caring for misfit audiences. The whole thing is that his audience is so large. He's tapped into a very universal thing that every human being out there, or at least most of us, feel like misfits, feel like we don't belong, and that we definitely feel unloved. And he's able to try to help us, try to cure our heartbreak and loneliness in a way that doesn't feel contrived, in a way that feels as close to honest as you're ever going to get with mainstream cinema. Of course, I feel that Tim Burton is one of the most incredible directors. I think he is the premier American auteur of his day. I think his films really speak to the culture. But what's most fascinating is that I feel the culture speaks back to it as well. That's how I think it's the premier director. That's how I think he's such a significant kind of cultural icon of American society, of a very specific time. Because I think that his films kind of ignite a conversation. And The Corpse Bride, well, what The Corpse Bride starts a conversation about is death and love and heartbreak and pretty goth girls, pretty goth boys, pretty misfits, pretty punk rockers, pretty outcasts, pretty outsiders, pretty misfits, pretty everythings. Everything that is on the fringes of society, but of course the fringes of society never know how close they are to the center. They never know how close they are. I really enjoyed The Corpse Bride, and I really needed it. It's a very tender, heartfelt movie. It's an incredibly tender film. And it moved me. It definitely moved me. And I loved it. Thank you guys for watching this video. Subscribe and definitely comment. What did you think of this film? I think it's pretty invaluable within Tim Burton's catalog. I think it's extraordinarily useful. I think it's brilliant. Of course, the film is a musical, and I think that the songs are really good. I think they're really fun, but one particular goth punk standard, horror punk standard, really was in my mind the entire time. If you want to scream, scream with me. Moments like this never last. When new creatures rape your face, hybrids open up the door. Ooh, baby, when you cry, your face is momentary. You hide your looks behind these scars. In hybrid moments, give me a moment Give me a moment. Oh, baby, when you cry, your face is momentary. You hide your looks behind these scars. In hybrid moments, give me a moment. Give me a moment.